It's time for spelling analysis. Are you ready? The first word is picture. I'd like to take a picture. Picture. Go ahead and say picture. How many syllables? Two. We will say to spell pick-tuer. What will we say to spell? Pick-tuer. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is pick. P-I-K. Use a k. S. The second syllable is tuer. T-U-R. Silent final E. Go ahead and write pick-tuer. Sound it out as you write it. Excellent. And now help me to write it. Pick, it, tuer, t-u-er, silent final E. How will we mark it? We'll put a line over the U and we'll double underline the silent final E. Why did the U say it's long sound? The vowel said it's long sound because of the E. Now, why do we say picture but write pick-tuer? You're right, this is assimilation. It's where these sounds t and U are becoming more like each other. T-U, chew, picture. Excellent. The next word is jacket. Be sure to bring a jacket. Jacket. Go ahead and say jacket. How many syllables? Two. We will say to spell jack at. What will we say to spell? Jack at. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is jack. J-A-K. Did you see that? The second syllable is et. Et. Go ahead and write jack et. Sound it out as you write it. And help me to write it. J-A-K. The second syllable is et. Et. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the k. Notice we used two-letter k after a single short vowel. Let's read it. J-A-K-Et. Jacket. The next word is cover. Be sure to cover the bread. Cover. Go ahead and say cover. How many syllables in cover? Two. We'll say to spell cov-er. What will we say to spell? Cov-er. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is cov. K. Use a k. S. Ah. V. The second syllable is er. Use the of her. Go ahead and write cov-er. Great. Help me to write it. Cov. K-A-V-er. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the Now, why did the O say You're right. O may say next to a W, T-H, M-N, or V. There it is. Let's read it. K-A-V-er. Cover. The next word is zipped. I zipped up my coat. Zipped. Go ahead and say zipped. How many syllables in zipped? One. Now let's sound out zip and then we'll talk about zipped because today I zip, yesterday I zipped. All right, let's sound out zip first. Z. Use a z which only says z. I, p. Now, did you hear a vowel followed by a consonant? What are we going to do when we add the past tense ending that begins with E, ed? That's right, we're going to double the consonant. So it becomes z, I, p, p, t. Got it? Go ahead and write zipped. Excellent. Zipped. Good. Help me to write it. Z, I, p, p, t. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the t. What sound of edit do you hear? The third. Let's read it. Z, I, p, p, t. Zipped. Great. And once again, the root is zip and it ends in one vowel followed by one consonant. So when we add a vowel suffix, we need to double the consonant. The next word is dessert. Shall we have dessert after dinner? Dessert. Go ahead and say dessert. How many syllables? Two. We will say to spell des-zert. What will we say to spell? Des-zert. All right, let's sound it out. The first syllable is des. D-e-z. Use a s. The second syllable is zert. Z. Use a s. The of her. T. Go ahead and write des-zert. Des Zert. Excellent. Help me to write it. D-E-Z-Z-R-T. And how do we mark it? What sound does z do here in dessert? That's right, the second. So we'll put 2's over them. And we'll underline the er. Let's read it. D-E-Z-Z-R-T. Dessert. The next word is button. Make sure that you button your coat. Button. Go ahead and say button. How many syllables in button? 2. We will say to spell but-ton. What will we say to spell? But-ton. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is but. B-a-t. The second syllable is ton. T-a-n. Go ahead and write but-ton. Good. And help me to write it. B-a-t-t-a-n. Let's read it. B-a-t-t-a-n. Button. Now notice I say the I sound here, button. Why? Any vowel may say or I in an unstressed syllable. That's called a schwa or a lazy vowel, and it's being lazy right there. The next word is nibble. The birds nibble on the food. Nibble. Go ahead and say nibble. How many syllables in nibble? 2. We will say to spell nib-bull. What will we say to spell? Nib-bull. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is nib. N-I-B. The second syllable is bull. B-ul. Silent final E. Go ahead and write nib-bull. Excellent. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is nib. N-I-B. The second syllable is bull. B-ul. Silent final E. How do we mark it? We'll double underline the silent E. And why do we have a silent E in nibble? You're right. Every syllable must have a vowel. Let's read it. N-I-B-B-ul. Nibble. The last word is wrapping. We will be wrapping the presents. Wrapping. Go ahead and say wrapping. How many syllables in wrapping? 2. We will say to spell wrap, ping. What will we say to spell? Wrap, ping. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is wrap. That's 2-letter A-p. The second syllable is ping. P-I-ng. Go ahead and write wrap, ping. And help me to write it. A-p. The second syllable is ping. P-I-ng. And how do we mark it? We'll underline the and the ng. Now, what is the root word of wrapping? You're right, it's wrap. And why did we double the P when we added ing? You're right, if a word ends in one vowel followed by one consonant, we double the consonant if we're adding a vowel suffix. And there it is. Great work today.
Combining the science of reading with the joy of learning. Learn more at foundations.logicofenglish.com.